Good evening, this is Akashvani Kohima. I am Nobin Pradhan with the evening news and these are the headlines. India and New Zealand sign agreements on defence, education, horticulture, sports and other areas. Lok Sabha MP S. Supongmeren Jamir urges Centre to amend North Eastern Areas Reorganisation Act 1971 and set up High Court in Nagaland. Technical Education Department holds talks with student bodies on Khelhoshe Polytechnic Atoizu issue, and two-day Khelo India Pencak Silat Women's League for Northeast Zone kicks off in Dimapur. Now the news in detail. India and New Zealand today exchanged 5 agreements in the fields of defence, education, sports, horticulture and forestry. Both sides also exchanged Authorized Economic Operator Mutual Recognition Agreement and announced launch of negotiations on a free trade agreement and an arrangement facilitating the mobility of professionals and skilled workers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today held talks with his New Zealand counterpart Christopher Luxon in New Delhi. The discussions covered various aspects of India-New Zealand relations. In his press statement, Mr. Modi said both sides decided to strengthen and institutionalize the defence and security arrangements.
आज हमने अपने द्विपक्षीय संबंधों के विभिन्न पहलुओं पर विस्तृत चर्चा की। हमने अपनी रक्षा और सुरक्षा साझेदारी को मजबूत और संस्थागत रूप देने का निर्णय लिया। जॉइंट एक्सरसाइज, ट्रेनिंग, पोर्ट विजिट्स के साथ-साथ रक्षा उद्योग जगत में भी आपसी सहयोग के लिए रोड मैप बनाया जाएगा।
Mr. Modi said India and New Zealand will continue to cooperate against terrorist, separatist and radical elements. In his statement, Mr. Luxon said both sides look forward to achieve mutually beneficial free trade agreement. He said New Zealand will increase its diplomatic presence in India.
On defence and security, Prime Minister Modi and I discussed the challenging strategic outlook in the Indo-Pacific region, and I reiterated New Zealand's strong commitment to working with India to address shared concerns over our respective interests and contributions to ensure a strong and stable and prosperous region.
New Zealand has joined the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative and has become a member of the Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Lok Sabha MP S. Supongmeren Jamir has urged the centre to set up a high court in Nagaland and urgently amend the North Eastern Areas Reorganisation Act 1971 to facilitate this. In a statement made in the lower house of Parliament today under Rule 377 of Rules and Procedure and Conduct of Business in Lok Sabha, Mr. Jamir expressed concern that despite being the second oldest state in the northeast, Nagaland still lacked a high court of its own. Citing similar exercise in 2012 to create separate high courts in Tripura, Meghalaya and Manipur, the MP urged the Ministry of Home Affairs to take steps to revise the North Eastern Areas Reorganisation Act for Nagaland as well. Mr. Jamir also highlighted the State Cabinet's approval in 2021 for a separate High Court for Nagaland and infrastructure being developed for the same. Noting that previous appeals to revise the Act had not yielded results, the MP placed his request on the floor of the House for the Ministry to take up the issue urgently. The Department of Technical Education held a meeting in Kohima today with representatives of the All Sumi Students Union (SKK) and the Naga Students Federation to discuss the issue of upgrading Khelhoshe Polytechnic Atoizu (KPA) into a fully fledged engineering college. Speaking to media persons, post-meeting advisor Technical Education Temjan Menba said that the discussions were productive.
See, we had a threadbare discussion on all the issues, and we have placed the government's decision on the table, and they have understood the issue. And thing ended on a very positive note. But since some of their colleagues were not able to attend the meeting today, they want to go back and discuss and come back to us. And I'm sure whatever we have discussed, they'll agree to the terms and conditions that we have discussed. And I hope that together we can find a solution to the problems that are ahead of us.
While noting that a final decision is yet to be made, Mr. Temjan Menba said the government has invited the students to be part of the negotiations with the All India Council for Technical Education in New Delhi. On the delays in upgrading KPA, he attributed them to financial constraints despite appeals to various authorities including the education and donor ministries. However, he expressed hope for an early solution now as the state's chief minister has agreed to allot the necessary funds. Meanwhile, SKK is expected to provide their feedback within the next 2 days, after which further discussions will take place. This is Akashvani Kohima giving you the news. For quick news update, follow us on our X handles AIR News Alerts and AIR_Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News on Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. Welcome back. You're listening to the evening news. The School Education Department today commenced block-level sensitization and trainings for school management committees and school management and development committees. As part of this, a one-day training program was held across Phek, Sunepodo and Kohima districts today. The program, jointly organized by the Department, Samagra Shiksha and Nectar Project, aims to strengthen the committees in understanding their roles, responsibilities and various initiatives of the department. The program will be conducted across all the 46 blocks in Nagaland till 28th of March. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today launched the Prime Minister Internship Scheme app. Speaking at the event, the minister lauded the Prime Minister for recognizing that today's youth are pursuing different courses as per their aptitude and the changes in the industry to incorporate AI, robotics and other advancements. Noting that despite various trainings, there is still a shortage of industry expectation in the skills of new recruits, the minister hoped the app would facilitate better employment opportunities. Rajya Sabha has taken up various finance bills relating to the Manipur budget for consideration and passing. Initiating the discussion, Shakti Singh Goyal of Congress said political differences must be set aside to ensure support for Manipur. Noting that 60,000 people have been displaced in the state, he said more funds should be allocated for relocation and rehabilitation. CPIM's Vikas Ranjan Bhattacharya claimed that imposition of president's rule in Manipur is not good for democracy and urged for bringing back normalcy. BJP MP Arun Singh said that the people of Manipur know that the BJP and Prime Minister Modi are helping them. The discussion is underway and the chair announced that the Rajya Sabha will extend its working till the list of speakers is exhausted. The two-day Khelo India Pencak Silat Women's League for the Northeast Zone kicked off today at the DBC Indoor Stadium in Dimapur. Addressing the inaugural ceremony, Advisor Youth Resources and Sports S. Khelhoshe Polytechnic underscored the importance of martial arts in empowering young women.
Today, we are gathered here to celebrate not just a sport, but a movement that empowers young women to embrace strength, discipline, and self-confidence through Pencak Silat. It is truly inspiring to witness so many talented women participating in this event.
The advisor recognized the significant impact of the Khelo India initiative in reshaping India's sports landscape and providing a platform for young athletes to excel. Mr. Yimkung acknowledged developmental challenges faced by the Northeast, including gaps in the education and infrastructure, and urged the youth to strive to bring the region on par with the rest of the country. Emphasizing the shared history and aspirations of the Northeast states, the advisor called for stronger social, cultural, and regional ties to build more inclusive communities. Hosted by the Nagaland Pencak Silat Association, the tournament is seeing a participation of 250 athletes from all states of the Northeast. And to end the news, a reminder of the headlines. India and New Zealand sign agreements on defence, education, horticulture, sports and other areas. Lok Sabha MP S. Supongmeren Jamir urges Centre to amend Northeastern Areas Reorganisation Act 1971 and set up High Court in Nagaland. Technical Education Department holds talks with student bodies on Khelhoshe Polytechnic Atoizu issue, and two-day Khelo India Pencak Silat Women's League for Northeast Zone kicks off in Dimapur. And that's all the news we have for you this evening. We will be back with the morning English news at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. Good night.